What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're working on the 300ZX again today, and what we're going to be doing today is changing out the rear main seal. So I think the rear main seal has been leaking for a long time on this car. The bottom of this car has had oil all over it for a long time, and I think it was basically leaking out of every hole possible in this 300ZX. So while we have the engine out, we're going to be changing anything that we can find that is leaking. We've already started in on that, and so now it's time to do the rear main seal. So that's the car back there, and in case you're new to the channel or whatever, that is our 1991 Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. Originally an automatic car, now it's becoming a 5-speed. I've got the engine over here on the table. So the engine has been out for several weeks now. Just been working on it slowly, and the main thing we've been doing lately is changing out the entire front timing kit. So we just did a full I just did a full 120K timing kit service on the car. So that's going to be a video either already up or coming up soon. Not sure how that's going to go, but I did make an entire sort of how-to video on that. Just got to edit it and upload it, so that may be on the channel already. I don't know, but if not, it's coming soon. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is change out the rear main seal. Let me flip the camera around here so I don't have to look backwards all the time. Okay, so VG30 DETT, we also did 2 brand new turbos. The video is most definitely up on that. And it's a pretty good one because we didn't just change the entire turbo like a lot of people do. I don't know why I keep saying we, it's just me. It's totally just me, and then I have Jonathan help me occasionally. But anyway, what I did was I changed out just the center housing. So these parts are stock, and I changed out and put new center housing on both sides, brand new stuff. So that's actually a pretty good way to go if you guys are kind of handy and want to learn or do it yourself already and want to do it yourself. You can just buy the center sections from the company I bought mine from. It's very cheap compared to all the other options on the market. And these stock turbos will do like 400 horsepower. So most guys are not pushing these cars farther than that. Certainly some guys are. Some guys are doing double that. But your average 300Z guy, I would say, is probably going to be real happy with 400 horsepower if you choose to push it that far. But anyway, whatever the case, if you want stock turbos, that's what I did. You can watch the video. But what we're going to do now is figure out how to change this guy right here and put a new seal in there. I've already washed it off, power washed it and everything, so all the grease is gone. But this thing was super greasy. In fact, the whole engine was, everything had been leaking. The center sections had been leaking from around here and stuff. It was a total grease ball. And so I'm resealing everything that I can find that was leaking while I'm doing the maintenance and stuff. So let me find my parts for this and kind of get a game plan together, and then we'll get going. Okay, let's just start by taking things apart and see what comes apart. So bolts are out. Let's see if we can just pry on stuff and get some movement here. Everything is pretty tight in there, to be honest, so I don't want to pry too hard and possibly crack this thing. Alright guys, so turns out there's really no secret to this that I could read online about anyway. So I just took a little flathead and I removed all of the RTV that I could see on both of these corners. I got all that off, and really it's just friction and some RTV that's sort of gluing it in place. So what I'm doing now is I've taken this small pry bar and I'm placing it back here behind the corner of this guy. And you can barely get any leverage anywhere. It's hard to find any place to get any leverage. But if you start right here in the corner, you can get the just the corner of your pry bar behind the retainer plate and then up against the block. And then I'm just popping it a little bit with my hand like this. And I'm getting it to move. Not a lot, but a little bit. You get it in the right spot. There it goes. So you can see I've got a pretty good gap forming there now, so I'm going to try to come over here and do the same. Then I'm going to try to do a little bit over here because I don't want to pry it too far and maybe crack it. There we go. Nice. He's going to come off there pretty easy, actually. Okay, so that's the retainer plate and the rear main seal coming out as one. And then here we've got the gasket We'll need to scrape him off nice and clean. And then we've got a bunch of RTV residue we're going to clean off. And then we will clean the surfaces with brake clean and get it super, super clean. And then put it back together. And really, that should be the whole job right there. So not too bad at all. Let me get to work on this stuff. And we'll just keep cracking at it. Okay, so I'm just removing some of this old RTV off of everything here. Super old and super dry. Alright, so we got to figure out how to get the old one out of the retainer plate so that we can put the new one back in. And it's really in there pretty good, it feels like. So I don't know what it's going to take to get it out. Yeah, it should be definitely in there tight. I think I'm going to get a pair of pliers and just try to like rip it out like a caveman. Just try to brutalize this thing out of here, see what happens. Maybe we get lucky and just destroy it and get it on out. That would be fine with me. Kind of hard to get a hold of it. Boy, he is in there. He is in there. I could cut it with like a hacksaw. Go ahead and rip the little spring out of there. And then I could cut through the rubber with a knife real easy. Cut a piece of that rubber out. And then that'll give us access to the metal inner wall. And I guess I could use a hacksaw maybe and try to cut that guy and weaken it. Let me see if I can find a hacksaw. That might do the job. Okay, so I got this air saw. I think I might try him. The blade's pretty shot, but it might work good enough for what we're doing here. Let's give it a shot. I really just want to weaken that thing enough to get it to buckle so I can pry it out. Okay. Yep, that might work. Maybe. We'll try it real quick. Actually, I think I'm... Alright, so my camera keeps turning off for some reason. I missed that last clip, but cutting it worked really well, and then I drove a flathead screwdriver under the cut and pried upwards, and it broke on the cut, and then I just spiraled it out of there with a pair of pliers here. So all that trick worked really well. Now I'm busy trying to press the new one in, and just so you know, the new one presses in and it bottoms out on these 4 tabs here, so that's how you know how deep to press it. So yep, we're now on a quest to figure out how to press this guy all the way. It is super tight, as you could expect, and it's also very large diameter, so I don't know what I'm going to press it with. As soon as I figure that out, I'll be right back, and we'll have a game plan for that. Okay, so here's the game plan. I'm going to take this punch, or this driver, or yeah, it's a punch, and this hammer, and I'm going to go all the way around, little taps. I'm going to drive them in. And I think that's going to work because I don't have anything big enough diameter to actually drive them in. Okay, that's working really good. Just got a little bit farther to go and we'll be good on that. Okay, so I've got the gasket in place here. And I've got the lower half moon seal in place there. He just snaps in. And then we're going to put a little bit of RTV on both of these corner pieces here. About like that should be plenty. And then we're going to finesse this guy onto the crankshaft and get him all in place here, hopefully. I'm going to use the flathead to kind of coax the seal around the crankshaft a little bit. It's got a little inner lip in there that wants to flip around backwards if you don't do this. There we go. So I've got this one up on the dowel, which is where I want it. But this one is too high. It doesn't want to sink down and get on the dowel unless I squeeze it really hard. Oh, and then it rolls this one off the dowel. Okay guys, so I got it to go on enough to get one screw in to kind of lock that corner in. But it's way high over here. It's like going up at an angle. So pro tip, grab your big pliers and squeeze right here and be gentle about it. And just squeeze it a few times and it'll start to compress this seal and you'll get it to line up, and I can see that dowel pin's lining up now. So I think I can go ahead and put another screw in it. I'll go ahead and put this one in if I can, if it's long enough. May not be. Yeah, so my problem now is I'm too far out on the bottom. So I got to get the bottom to go in or the top to come. Now the top's got to go back in a little more and sink up to the block, but I don't like how far this is sticking out. I don't know if it should stick out that far. It looks like the whole thing is a little bit twisted out at the bottom. Okay, so you got to go back and forth a little bit, but the trick seems to be to go ahead and squeeze it with your big pliers and hammer it like this all the way around, nice and even. Just like so. And once you get to a point where you can get this bolt in, you've already got one in. Once you get to the point where you can get this bolt in, go ahead and get them started. And then keep squeezing and tapping. That seems to be the trick. So all that's left now is put the other two bolts in, torque it down, and she's done. Alright guys, there you have it. The seal is in and it is nice and square all the way around. And I did add just a little bit of RTV here and here after I was done, just a little bit to be on the safe side. I didn't put much on there at all. It's very, very thin. Probably don't even need to do that, but I had it handy and I thought maybe it'll help. So anyway guys, that's going to be it for the rear main seal. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, ask me down below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content on the 300Z or the S13 back there. That is a 5.3 liter T56 swapped car with a full turbo kit that I'm about ready to put back on it. And the car ran 9s in the quarter mile, makes something like 700 horsepower. MR2 turbo with 3S GTE Gen 4 swap, and then of course the 300Z. Thanks for watching guys. I will catch you on the next one.